on to research question. Research question, it's just one document that you've done before. Again, if I go back, this was, I think, at the end of M13. After we did those 3 articles that you researched on your own on background information, kind of getting you to a good place to ask that research question. And yeah, it was actually week 15, M15 research question. And so again, just move that into this place just as a refresher about what really needs to go into that. We have this showing your thinking process, right? What are at least 3 questions you considered? And then we have narrowed it down to what's one thing that you're kind of interested in. So if you're talking about mental health, maybe it's treatment of mental health. That's a more specific question that's kind of going in there. And then research that you've already paired with this, thinking about how those resources will help you. This is the big question that moves into the next part of the project. So we've got just that one document inside of your research question. Digging deeper, again, looks a whole lot like part 1 and part 2 because here you've done, again, 3 articles from digging deeper. Those have been the last 3 things that you've done. And so we did one of those in week 15, and then we did the other 2 in week 16. But they're all just called digging deeper. So those are the last things that we've done. So if you've managed to do all of those things up till now, then again, this is a little tedious. You're renaming these folders. You're making sure your note sheet and the actual article are inside the folders. And then we're going to go back to our inquiry folder. So this is the last part of the project. This part is the new part. If you've done everything else, it's a lot of moving stuff around. This is the new part. And the new part is basically looking for what has helped you so far. So I'm going to go back to provided research, and I'm going to say, based on that research question, what has helped me? And what I'm going to do is color code. And so I'm just going to simply color code red and green. Has it helped me? Yes. Has it not helped me? No. And so I'm simply going to go through here and say, does this help to answer the research question? Would I use this in a paper? Yes or no? Again, we are going to write a paper. That's going to happen in the future. So this is a big step for us to think, is this article going to be worth me going through again? And if so, I need to mark it that way. So first we're going to mark red or green in each one of these folders. Then we're going to do something pretty simple, which is go back to just the green ones. You're going to basically make a copy of these, right? And so that's kind of easy to do. I want to go to, let's see, this is opinion. Teens are now more anxious than ever. Go to my research document. New folder. Rename it. Teens are more anxious than ever. Okay. And then I'm going to do something a little different. So you have a total of 9 sources, but I don't expect you to use all 9 of these sources. That's not very realistic. Instead of that, I'm going to go through, I'm going to make a copy of this article, right? It's going to be copy of, and now I'm going to move it into part 5. And with that moved article, I don't think I went far enough. And that moved article, yeah. I just want to reread this article with a critical lens. What parts of this article help to answer my question? And all you have to do is highlight. So, we live in anxious times, blah, blah, blah. Hollywood, probably not. Online, everything looks wonderful. So maybe I want to get down here. This seems like a nice juicy sentence. And I just want to highlight this. This seems like a sentence that's going to help me later on when I write my paper. Right? This is a good time to do this. We're not terribly far into the research process. I know we're many weeks into it now, but we're also going to need this again later, right? So you're acknowledging two things. I need this article later on when I write, and there's worthwhile information that I want to capture now. Now, how many sources do you need in this connected research folder? Well, my hope is at least all of your digging deeper sources, right? They should be in there. But anything else that helped, right? Any of the 9 sources that helped. So you just want to go through how much of my background research already kind of answered that question. Well, again, maybe it's only one. But this other one didn't help so much, right? So I'm just going to go in, make a copy. Move that copy. Again, a lot of kind of moving stuff around, but you can see like visually, man, now I am just going to go to part 3 and part 5 when I'm ready to write this paper, right? I think we might have... Yeah, it's got to kind of convert it, anything that came directly from opposing viewpoints, but that's okay. Right? What do I need? What am I taking from this article? And then don't forget you have your notes articles there too. So all of this information, we're just condensing it. We're putting it into some places that are nice and easy to access. Things that next semester we can't really get too far behind without this research folder. It's going to be nice and easy for us to transfer that knowledge, right? Move that knowledge from place 1 to place 2. Of course, if you guys have questions, let me know. I'm going to be walking in class people through this all week this week. So if you need to show up to a meet, you need to do any of those types of things, then you're going to be okay when it's time to get to turning in the final. Now for your final, you're just going to do something really easy, which is you're going to get the link. And this is what you're going to be turning into me when you are making sure you're turning stuff into Canvas. You're basically turning this link into me. And it's also important that you understand how I grade it. I'm going to go to your inquiry folder. I'm going to be looking for part 1. And I'm going to be looking at, do you have all the things, right? That's number 1 question for me. Do you have all the things? Have you color coded? If I kind of peek into here, you know, do you have some of the sources? I'm going to basically spot check, like, you know, do you have a note sheet? Is it filled out? Then I'm going to poke around and kind of look through everything else. Do you have a research question? Does it have all the parts to it, right? And so you could tell like 100% completion here is really easy to hit. You have all the stuff. Um, Basically, I'm taking off if you don't have all the stuff. There's 5 folders here, so I could say each one is worth about 20%, right? Do you have all the stuff in each folder? And so that's what I'm gonna do. And do you have all the parts? If I just spot check it, um, randomly decide this is the article I'm going to look at. Do you have this stuff there? That's what I'm really, really looking for when I go in to grade this piece so that we're not caught off guard, we're not unsure about what the expectations are.